Meanwhile, investigators say the suspect left behind writings before this attack.
NBC4's Keenan Willard joining us live outside the home where we know, Keenan, this is still a shock to neighbors there.
Obviously, none of them expecting their neighborhood here in Torrance, historically a quiet one with not much going on, to become the center of national news, the biggest story in the country here, and all connected to this home where we have been since learning about Cole Allen's connections to Southern California in the hours after that White House Correspondents Dinner shooting situation. There's been a lot of activity out here, law enforcement, people coming out to just see what in the world is going on with this investigation. Totally unexpected for this quiet community. Now, investigators say last night Allen rushed the security checkpoint at the White House Correspondents Dinner. He had multiple guns on him, according to investigators. Today, we've seen the FBI going door to door here on Gramercy Avenue in Torrance, talking to neighbors about whether they know Cole Allen and his family.
They come by and ask questions if I knew him, and I'm like, no, I seen him once, and that was probably about it. Everybody says it don't happen in your neighborhood, but it happens in everybody's neighborhood. It's going to happen no matter where you're at.
We're also today learning more about the writings a senior White House official tells NBC Allen left behind. In those messages, Allen says he can no longer allow President Trump to represent him as an American. He talks about his targets at the dinner, saying he was after Trump administration officials, prioritized from highest to lowest, but not FBI Director Kash Patel. But he also says he would go through most everyone in attendance to get to his targets. Now, in the writings, Allen speaks generally about objections to Trump administration policies and apologizes to his family, his colleagues, and students.
It wasn't just a political statement. It was an apology to people who knew him. It was looking at who he's targeting and why.
Today, sources also telling NBC4 that Allen's brother reached out to police in New London, Connecticut, with concerns about his brother in the hours after the White House Correspondents' Dinner shooting situation. So some new information there. Ahead on NBC4, experts talk to us about the possible warning signs you could detect of extremism in the wake of incidents like this one taking place across the country in recent years. For the moment, from Torrance, Keenan Willard, NBC4 News.
You know, Keenan, investigators have repeatedly said they believe this suspect acted alone in this shooting, but we're also learning that he may be connected to a political activist group. What more do we know about that right now?
One of the things investigators have been talking to us about, yes, carrying out this action on his own, but also talking about his connection to ideological groups on specifically the left and considered more extreme being the Wide Awakes. That's the name that investigators at the federal level have told NBC News they have found and identified a connection between Cole Allen and that group. The Wide Awakes being historically a group that formed in the lead up to the Civil War, and what they would do, they were called the Wide Awakes because they would make noise outside of the homes of some political opposition leaders, people who they did not agree with. This was a pro-abolitionism, pro-Abraham Lincoln political organization. They would make loud noises outside the homes of opponents on the other side of the political aisle to try and keep them awake at night. So that name has now been taken from the 19th century and into the modern era with a group of people who are more political activists on the left side of the spectrum who are trying to emulate the same tactics. That's what experts in counterterrorism, in hate and extremism have told us is the calling card of that group today, similar to what it was during the 1800s. And we're now learning a potential connection between the suspect in that White House Correspondents' Dinner shooting and that political group. A lot more information for sure to come out about the motives for the shooter and any possible political connections we'll be sure to hear about from experts and investigators in the months ahead. For the moment, though, that's where things stand. In Torrance, Keenan Willard, NBC4 News.
Keenan, thank you so much.